going on, guys? This is Steven, also known as Noodles, or Razzle Dazzle to some of you who play Xbox and games with me. So we are here talking about a new game that me and a couple other guys have been in the process of creating. We've been creating it now for probably the last year now. And I tell you what, this is something that is new and different for all of us. I know none of us have created a video game. I know some of you probably have. I know others of you are like me and are just learning this. Some of you might even be newer than me and just be fresh completely. And that's okay, because that's kind of the whole process of this, is that we're all going to be creating this game together. One thing that I wanted to kind of go through and do is actually get everybody else who joins this stream, get their opinions, get their feelings, and actually create this. Now, this isn't just some idea that we're actually starting with. We actually have a good groundwork. We actually have levels, characters that we've created over the last year now, really, that we've been working on this and actually conceptualizing this idea. So then that way it kind of helps create the direction that we want to go in, but from here kind of create the part of the story is created. There's a framework for it, but not quite a firm one. So that way we can kind of all together go through the process of what it actually takes to make these video games, because I think we've all, at least me as a gamer who has been around since before Xbox Live and even online gaming, which makes me feel old, but that's that one thing that we can do is actually learn what goes into making these modern day games. I think we've lost track of how difficult it really can be with certain titles that, you know, and I won't name anybody, but they churn out the same game over and over and over again, and it looks simple, it looks easy, but it's really actually quite complicated. They've just created a framework that they go off of and continue to build over and over again, adding new things, changing things, rendering things differently. One thing I've learned just even going through this process of how time consuming, how tedious it really can be, and I'll spare you guys a lot of the details of creating things as we go, but we'll also be painstakingly going through all the things that really it really does take. And we'll be doing it step by step and hopefully together. So feel free to join in the chat through this whole series of streams to, you know, get your voice heard, because we really are trying to make a community game here where all of us help create something that we enjoy, that we love, and the other thing is that you know, this is also not a free process. So as we go through it, it costs money. So all we can do is really just ask for anything that can help us get to the creation and finishing of this game. We really, you know, it ultimately ends up being all of us that plays this game, and to be a part of it, that's something that we're trying to cultivate and create. So then that way we can actually have a true community game that when it ends up on Game Pass, that, you know, and Steam and all of those platforms, that's something that you can really be proud of and say, you know, yeah, we helped create that, and you can play the parts that you helped create and storylines that you helped create. So hopefully doing this we can create something new and different. So anyway, so before I continue to go and blab my mouth on, you know, who is this guy, what's he talking about, again, for anybody just joining in, I'm Steven, also known as Noodles, or Razzle Dazzle to those who play with me online. And we are going to be making a video game. It's called Lucid. Now, one thing that I have wanted to show you guys. So now we have, so let's go ahead and just dive into the content of this, since I know nobody just wants to sit here and watch me talk. So let's go ahead and I will show you guys here the actual video game that we have. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my cam for a little bit because I know you guys just don't want to sit here and watch me just stare at my screen. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute that right now. All right, now and look at that, I still got this overlay. Still a new stream here that we're working on. So here is let me go ahead and now load up some bits of what we have. So I've been working off of the Polygon series of assets and pieces that we've found off of Unity, as well as a few others. Now, one thing here that we have, I'll go ahead and start with our main world that we have. So this is the Polygon Metropolis package that we're going to be building a city out of. Kind of have partial framework. We've been expanding and growing it, so slowly but surely we'll have this thing all taken care of. So as it loads, I'm just gonna go ahead now, and again, for any guys who want to donate or help out to this cause through the process, we will have PayPal and Patreon, all that set up here in the future. I'm just waiting for this computer here to load everything because there's quite a bit now. So giving you guys just a second here as it loads, kind of step away and give everybody a perspective of where we are at. So this is Lily Springs. This is what Lily Springs looks like. It is growing and getting bigger. As you can see here, we've got different outlays that I'm just been working on here and getting all these bits, so that way it kind of coincides a little better with all the things that we have. So as you can see, I'm building out and around here, and we're getting this going. So slowly but surely, I'm actually going to be building these neighborhoods out more, and it will kind of fade into backgrounds, backyards where that you won't be able to get across. They'll just be essentially just a row of houses with a barrier around them that you won't be able to pass, and then we'll be able to put a background in there that fits. I mean, this one is pretty good, and it could potentially work. It just depends on how everything ends up landing. And then I've got the mountains over here. This isn't based off of, I mean, obviously, if you guys can't tell, this is part of Polygon's whole deal. And so learning the animation of these products and how to get them moving and going is something that that I need to brush up on and actually learn. So you guys know how to do this stuff and know how to make these steps. I mean, by all means, help me and we can get this thing taken care of even sooner. So now, without further ado, let's go. I don't know why I keep saying that, but so let's go ahead and let me go ahead and not talk so monotony. I feel like I'm getting drony, so let's avoid that at all costs. So I also have been working on a few different levels. Now this is the real world. This will be based on everything. This is where Luke, our main character, this is where he lives in his real world. This is where he goes to school. This is where all his friends are. Everybody kind of exists inside of Lily Springs and its surrounding areas. So it's the biggest little town you'll ever be a part of. So and we're also going to be growing this out to be quite a bit larger. But to give you guys a bit of a perspective now, the Unreal mannequin that comes with this is a lot larger than everything, than everybody will be. He's a bit larger. Prospectively speaking, I mean, he's as tall as a door. That's a bit excessive. But and these cards, again, that's part of the animation. I need to build those and put them in. But again, I've been building the world first before really getting into all of that. Now, I am just there's a bit of a perspective. Now we're gonna make this a much larger place, but that's just one road here, and this is the world that we're beginning to build out. So it's getting much larger, much more sophisticated now, with everything that we're doing. So I'm not gonna keep you guys droning along here inside of Lily Springs, but this is an intro video. We're gonna get into some more actual details of things later on. Now we have, let me go ahead and load. Now there's also this C area that we were going to be utilizing, and again I'll get it done as fast as I can as far as it'll let me load. Now we've got this Bay Area that I'm going to be having boat racing and that kind of stuff that you'll be able to play with your friends online. You'll be able to play in solo mode if you don't want to be online. There's also going to be things that you can do on the beach. I think I'm going to try to add in some beach volleyball depending on how hard that is to code and that kind of stuff. Might be able to even do like small little like RC planes, because again Luke is a 13-year-old kid, so he's not that old, but he is still an adventurous kid, and with the Lucid worlds that we end up going in and out of, he's able to do a little bit more adult themed things. Well, not themed, but like, you know, fighting, punching, has more power than the average kid, those kinds of things. And so that's the small Bay Area that we have right now. And we also, there's a racetrack that's been put into here as well. Now I don't have any credit for this. This is all polygon here. Everything here you see. So they've done actually a pretty cool job. And what I think I'm going to try to do is give everybody kind of this flat plot of land, and let people build their own racetracks that they can race with their friends online and do that kind of stuff. So if you guys are interested in any sort of other ideas for any of these little real world activities, they're going to all be a part of how you can play the game, expand your character, grow. They'll all give you benefits for stuff online as well as cosmetics, all the good stuff. So now let's go ahead and get into some of our actual other levels that we have. Now this is a game based on Lucid World, Lucid Dreaming, and kind of these lucid areas that we get pulled in and out of throughout the game, and that'll make more sense as we start to go into the script and actually build that up. So I'm going to go ahead and give everybody a short break to kind of process this information. I'm going to go ahead and load up that main city again and let everybody kind of get a look-see as to what it looks like, and let everybody just kind of get a grip of what it is that we're going to be creating. So I'll leave that up here real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and turn up the music, and I will be right back. So it kind of gives you guys a good little look-see at everything that's going on. There's really not a whole lot, but again, I'll have content out. We'll put it out there on the social media pages. We'll get all that stuff going. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to our we have a medieval dungeon that we've got going on here. So let me go ahead and pull this up. Loading up here, and we'll just give you guys a see at what it is that we have going on. For anybody who cares, for anybody who wants to see more out of this, feel free to check us out. We're going to be making a web page and all that stuff, and we'll be pretty much utilizing Streamlabs specifically. So I want to definitely give a big shout out to them. I also want to give a big shout out to Motu, to Sterling Audio, Canon, Samsung, all the guys who make this, this whole process work here for me, as well as Stream Deck and Elgato, all those guys. So now here is a world that we have not loaded correctly. There we go. There we are. Now this one is still very cosmetic. Need to work on collision with flooring and all that stuff. Because as you can see, if I go to play it, I just fall through the floor, and we don't like that. That's not a fun game to play. It's not a very fun game at all. But turn down the scrolling speed. So this is our medieval dungeon. This is going to be a part of our fantasy world that we have. Now these graphics are actually intentionally going to be slightly different and vary just based on the gameplay and how it'll be structured and look. Now it's going to have its own little unique feels and that kind of stuff, each world. Obviously you can see here that this is pretty set up for some fun things to happen, and we will have different things happen through this. Now obviously these areas here are built for bosses and that kind of stuff to pop out at you. This here is built out for the final boss to pop out at you. So, I want to welcome everybody to the medieval dungeon that will exist inside of our fantasy land. So, let's go ahead and give you guys a little bit of context on that. So, here we have this, let's see, it is going to be inside of our fantasy village. Now, the fantasy village has a couple of different variations. Again, this is another one straight out of the Polygon playbook. I gotta give those guys a huge shout out. They very much so matched the graphics and stuff that we were going for. Made a lot of these things a lot easier, especially as we've been going through the character conceptualization, which I gotta tell you, that has taken so much longer than I ever thought that would take. Absolutely astonished by how long that truly took, from 2D conceptualization all the way through. the process of actually having a character that's even 3D with or without animations. So this is part of the fantasy village that we have here. And again, there's going to be more that we need to build out, build it wider and longer. As you can see, we already have frameworks ready to go to do all of that kind of stuff. Now, again, animations of certain things, other characters, NPCs, and all that kind of stuff will be getting dropped in. And later on here, after I get past the map segments of all this, I'll show you guys kind of what we have for characters and let you guys kind of have time to process and ingest this with a break. And then we'll go ahead and wrap this up with a storyboard analysis after this and let you guys kind of check it out, process it, see what we have going on here, and start helping to the addition of this process. So next we're gonna go ahead and show you guys the other villages and areas that we have. So now we have the Greenwood Fantasy Village. So let's go ahead and give this an opportunity to load up. And again, I want to thank everybody who's watching right now. Currently there's just not very many people here live with me, but everybody else who's watching this after the fact, I appreciate y'all watching, hanging out, and seeing what it is that we have here. Again, I want to see everybody kind of join in and become a part of this, as it is going to be a game that we all play. So this is going to be one of the final areas here. And this is in conjunction with a few other maps via Polygon. Now this is one of our woodsy larger maps that you're going to be able to explore in the final area of our forest game that'll be based off of I'm kind of thinking about making this based off of like a DayZ kind of an idea, where this is less post-apocalyptic, but again, it's not going to be a direct, it's just going to be more Easter eggs and homages paid to the game, as that's one that I've played a lot with a lot of people, and anybody who's played with me on Xbox has definitely played that game a lot with me for the most part. Not everybody. Some of those other guys are Crossout guys, which that is also a fun game. If nobody's ever played that, Crossout, absolutely 10 out of 10 recommend. So that is actually going to tie in here with our forage village that we have a couple different variations for now. This is some smaller areas that I'm going to be building and expanding. Obviously, it's very, very small, but like a little island space here that is going to have some people that you'll be rowing your boat through a cinematic point here. We have another spot over here, which is just another larger village with some things I gotta work on, obviously. But you know, we'll get that all squared away. Just didn't realize I was even there. Now it's gone. And now it's gone. So we're gonna go ahead and get this area and all of that can kind of put together, and then this, yeah, I'll go ahead and save that. And then this is actually going to be our third of the 4 little forest village areas that you will have playable to you. And again, you can see there's room being built for more fun playable area. The beach needs to kind of be addressed, or not. You know, might just have it as is, but we'll see. Also swimming, not sure if swimming is going to be a thing for us. So if not, we're going to have a little bridge or a boat that you take across. Not be even able to go across. We'll see how this little area kind of gets built. There's some places that it's built for, but the extra stuff we're going through, kind of figuring out, and again, like I said, conceptualizing it. So again, we're gonna keep at the pace here, and let's see, we have now Wild West Village and a Halloween Village that we need to also are very, very have been low on my priority list. And I'm gonna spare you guys those because those are pretty small. I'll show you guys the Wild West one. How about that? Well, good. It's a really quick run through, so not that big of a deal. Once it loads, 44%, that usually pops up pretty quick. Here we are now. Like I said, not much. There's really not a whole lot here, and inside there. I mean, it's been built up on the inside, which is a big proponent to the time that this has taken. There we go. Lost control of my wheel and where I was going. So I mean, these are empty here, just basic little general stores, and I'll be putting, you know, very simple kind of thing in there for the most part. General stores, little weapon stores, goods, things that you'll be able to use to survive. Obviously, no Western town is complete. There is no Western town that is complete without a bar piano, without a bar, a saloon, I should say, and obviously an upstairs fighting area that poker is held at small little tables like this, given the little gold coins here, and drinking games, with little bedroom areas, because they were also sleeping spots, at least back in the old Western days. And then we also have just like a restaurant, bar, kind of, I guess this is the inn here, that we've separated. Now, not historically accurate, but it's still, there's just rooms at both of these places. And then it's just a small town here. Here's your general store. We'll have shelves with items and goods, and another little store to get knickknacks and fluid drinks, alcohol, saloon type of drinks, and non-alcoholic, of course, because you can't just drink alcohol out on the road all the time. In the olden days, it's just never gonna work. So let's go ahead and keep on trucking with this. So we're gonna go ahead, let me go ahead and load up what is the last bit here, which is what is called the City of Brass. So let's go ahead, here's the gardens that we have, and these are all very similar looking areas right now, because again, this is actually something that was available free momentarily, and I took advantage of that and have every intent on kind of adapting, changing, and moving it, bending it to my own will and need. But these very narrow city streets, very beautiful artwork, very, very cool fitting of that poly vibe that we're going for, gives you as the player the perspective of being in this very, very large city, but it's really just a giant circle at this moment. We're going to create it more labyrinthy. There's going to be a large city area, markets, palaces that you end up going in through these doors, but all that has to be built piece by piece. So and now we go ahead and continue. I'll save you all of the extra stuff. Here's a street view. It was kind of a demo of the gardens that you would go in and out as this loads. And again, I want to thank everybody who's watching. I appreciate your time. It is definitely not taken for granted, and I don't want to waste it. I also want to get your guys' opinion. Please drop them in the chat. I won't, even though you guys might not be watching this live, it still pops up. I still see it, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. Because again, this is a true community game. I want it to be, at least. I want everybody to be a part of it. Here's kind of an asset package here that we have. So I want everybody to see a creation of their own kind of come to the forefront. I want everybody to, see this game on Game Pass and be like, yeah, I was a part of that. I absolutely did that. I want that, because there's never been anything that has actually truly given the player that kind of ability and power. They don't do it. It's something that has always been a very tight-knit group of people. And I wish it wasn't. I understand why it is, because it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of resources. It takes a lot of people. And in some cases, to make all that quicker, or without a team of people, it takes money. And that's one thing that most of us don't have. Now here is another bit of an advanced village piece that we're going to be working on here as well. You guys are kind of getting into all the good stuff. So this is just a nice little forest village that's going to be kind of hidden away. Kind of a sanctuary, as you can say, in the Lucid world. That Luke can come and find peace, because we all need a place to be able to find peace. Now, let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and give everybody a bit of a break here. I'm gonna let everybody kind of ingest here, and also just kind of show you all a basic overview of what it is that we have in this game. Here's just I'll go ahead and turn this stuff up so that way it's not so small for you guys. Too big. All right. So here is something kind of for you guys to see. This is the different worlds, levels so far that we have, and a couple other different pieces. One thing that anybody who's watching, if they have any ideas on how to make the filing system more efficient, those kinds of things, all new to me in the Unreal world. I come from the world of audio engineering, so filing works a certain way for me, and it may not work for all of the different things that I have going on here. Now, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out. Please stick around. I'm going to go ahead and take a short little 10-minute break. I want to get everything kind of ready for just showing off characters, and then kind of showing off the storyboard. So go ahead, feel free to hang out, guys. Grab a coffee, grab a bathroom break, and I will be right back. Thank you all very much.
track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this the 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going.
guys and gals, whoever is watching. It is very much so appreciated. Again, thank you all for sticking around this long. I'm going to go ahead and make the last bit of this quite easy here. And I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. Oh wow. All right. Sorry. So I'm working on getting some of this stuff taken care of as far as scaling, so I can show you guys the storyboard and what we have going on here. All right, so that was a lot less fun than I thought it was going to be. One thing I am going to be doing is, well, let's go ahead and start on our, let's go ahead and start with our characters. So what I have here is the Streamlabs. So let me go ahead and pop on over here to our Streamlabs look and show you guys kind of what we have going on there. So here is some of the characters. Now, this one obviously we're not going to be using as this is a for a different project, and we can't use that anyway because that is a, obviously, as everybody already knows and can see, that's a from Cyberpunk. So we're obviously not going to be using that. And hey, look at that, my camera's a little out of sorts right now. So, before I frame myself out, so let's go ahead here and I'm going to show you guys who Grumpy Gus is. So here is a view of Grumpy Gus. Now again, I'm going to go ahead and kill my webcam so that way you guys don't have to worry about seeing me like that. So here is a view of Grumpy Gus as he renders in. We have a very, very great detail done here. Awesome job. There's now no animations to him, so we're going to be adding those after the fact and kind of doing it that way. So so here's some good, another up close, just really, really cool details done here, just to really kind of give you guys a look at Grumpy Gus here. And he was done very well to the idea that I had originally had in the first place. Now I'm gonna have to animate the smoke and those kinds of things, also movements. Anybody who is willing to help and do those kinds of things, I am absolutely, I would love to help. I'm absolutely down for giving you guys all the credit for doing those kinds of things, putting you in the credit rolls, doing all that. So let's get that going. Let's talk. Please go ahead and message me. I'll put down information on how to get a contact. So, but I also want to give a shout out to Verdant for the creation of this character. He's awesome. It's perfect for what it is that we're going for now. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys off Luke. So this is Luke Lucid. He is our main character here. As he finishes rendering, okay, perfect. So as you guys can see, he's fully animated. He's got all of his things. He is kind of just going through all of his different animations at the moment, but just to give you guys a look. So he's got where's his animation list? really great job with everything that's been done here. Everything's really tight. Gotta give a great shout out to Jose Diaz here for the creation of Luke for this game. Now there's going to be two different versions. We have a good and evil Deddy Teddy, who is one of the evil bosses. Now Grumpy Gus is also one of the bosses that is going to be fighting for them, who is the antagonist in this video game. He is going to be one of our main characters here. Now this is the evil version of him. Obviously he looks very evil, but then we're gonna go with a very different look for his good version and good self. Just to kind of help create a very, very drastic scale and a very easy look. Now I'm also going to have to create animations for him. So now we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna show you guys this guy. This is from Silver Cow 101. They've coined this Shadow Lord, but this is actually going to be them. I've got to do some touch-ups here as far as with graphics, tightening up things, making them look a little better. No diss to Silver Cow here. It's just gonna tighten up. I gotta make it look a little bit more snazzy and that. So again, anybody who can help do those kinds of things is it's all absolutely greatly appreciated. The credits will be yours in that. As far as any graphic animation, you'll be in the video game for sure. So any characters, NPCs, those kinds of things, I also want to help create and get those things going, so that way we can possibly even have different renders of people and get those things. But again, those kinds of things take money, take time, and I of course need your help with all of that. So here is the look of Nightmare, spelled as Night, M-A-R-E. She will be a very, very formidable foe towards the end of the video game, before you get to them, the main character, who will have will kind of show what's going on there with Luke and Susie, Luke's sister. And again, this will all make sense as we continue through the series and move forward into the creation of all of this. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and it looks like I've got to adjust some of my. I got to adjust some of my things. Gotcha. Perfect. So, I'm still. This is a very new stream, so we're still getting some of our audio pieces and different things together and getting them right. So thank you guys for hanging out and bearing through. This is again, this is Nightmare. Going to be a really great character, and again, this game, which is an idea based from Slayer DeReest, who's one of my great friends, close friends, in both real life and Xbox. So the idea that he has come up with has really kind of flourished into this giant thing that you see before you. So now I'm gonna go ahead, pop over here to the Razor, and kind of into the script. I apologize, and show you guys kind of what's going on here. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and hide my ugly face, because again, I don't think anybody wants to see me just staring at my screen. I don't even think I want to see myself staring at the screen, but you get the point. Here I am. I'm still very real. So. So here is what I've been using. Story Planner. We're actually going to be switching over to Nuclino now that we have story. Yeah, so this is Story Planner. We're going to be switching over to Nuclino as we get now have more people actually involved in this. So through here, I've got just the basic premise. As you can see here, you feel free to, you can pause it, kind of look at what we have here. Here's some of our characters. As you've seen some of them, you haven't seen some of them yet. I have some 2D renderings of all of these that I'll be more than happy to kind of show a little bit later on. Comment, let me know which ones you guys want to see kind of come in next and see there. Here's some of our locations, and again, we've seen some of these. I've actually added a few more since to kind of add in more depth to this game, because it just can't be small couple little things. This is not going to be a game I don't want it to be a game that everybody can finish in a day, because that's no fun. Now here's some of our main and subplot themes. So obviously he's a 13-year-old kid. He wants to be a star. He wants to learn how to do all this stuff. He wants to be an adult. He just wants to grow up quick. But most importantly, he's actually going to have to save his sister from them. And Susie Susie Q is going to be Luke's sister in this video game. Now I might that we're not completely married to Susie, but that is the working name for her that we have. She's going to be approximately 8 or 9. It's going to be kind of the working premise of what Luke is going to do to help, save her and learn the value of hard work, and that, there's a multiple set of themes that go into this. Now, here's some of our actual going through the story. Now, you can see here, you go through your basic stuff. You got your game opener, credit scenes. Luke, he goes through, he meets the neighborhood, he explores Lily Springs. Those are basic, mechanics missions that kind of show you how to operate your character, how to go through and do different things. You got to go to the game store. Now, we're not going to release any of this information, but, we're working with a couple of people to actually have maybe even a cooler game store that will help add a lot of depth to this game overall. So we'll see how that actually ends up as we continue to move through that. Now Susie comes home. That gives Luke his first kind of basic mission that has him earn a little bit of money so he can go buy a game and then actually play it. And that's when he plays it. Them has infected the game. Then he gets pulled into a Lucid version of his real world. He fights them. Luke and them have a very nice fight scene, and they actually then go. The game. It's a fight that Luke's designed to lose. And then he actually, has his sister taken, which is what drives the whole beginning of this game. And then the game fades to the title cutaway, and then Luke stays up all night trying to contemplate what the heck just happened, and what it is that he's going to have to do next. And then he ends up playing the game, gets pulled into the Lucid version of that world, and then that's kind of how it ends up going through and repeating, at least on a very, very basic, primitive look of how this game will go. It's going to be, you go into this Lucid world that you buy a game from that's been infected by them. You go and save this world. You'll fight a boss, and then you have different powers. You have different abilities in each playable area that you'll be able to go back and play, that you have to save up and get different resources to build other things for yourself. And that'll be how that mechanic works. So you'll be able to have different powers inside of each Lucid world, but then in the end game content is when it actually changes, and you'll have different abilities from many worlds, and a few other sneak peek previews that we'll show you as we continue to go on. I'm giving you a basic gist, so this is the game that we have so far, going through about 3 different episodes, and now we're kind of getting into that. Now, right now, I've kind of got 13 different episodes built into this to the end credits, and that involves all of these different things. There's multiple quests that you'll end up having to do and complete in order to keep moving forward. So that pretty much concludes everything that this game has at this current point, we have gone over the different levels, and again, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of pop through some of the different things that we have here. So I'll go ahead and start here with our desktop. So hey, we've got our games that we have created. We've got our I apologize about that. We have our characters that have been purchased off of the 2D animations that we've done. We're actually now at the point here where we are going to we have now all these different worlds that have been purchased, have been built, have been supplemented by other assets, just a different series of things that have gone into creating this over the last year now. And again, like I said, this is all based on an idea that our friend Slayer, who will be a part of this stream, bits and pieces, you'll hear a lot from him as this thing continues to go on and on and on, and we continue to create this. So and now we're gonna go ahead and finalize, and you guys have seen everything that we have right now. We're gonna start going into our next stream. We're actually gonna start going into the story and kind of getting that bit and piece kind of worked out and built, and then from there we're gonna go ahead and get that going, so that way we can help finish moving into our game design document where we finalize our mechanics, and then actually start to get this process on the road, and with those mechanics then we can build our worlds out, and actually make this into a video game. Now after we get all that, then it comes down to the story. I mean, there's also dialoguing that goes into this. There is I mean, it's the programming. There's audio that we're going to end up being that we're going to actually create, and I'm going to be creating a lot of sounds on stream. I'll be doing a lot of that kind of stuff to show you guys how that stuff gets mixed in. That's actually one of the parts of the process I actually have a lot of experience in, and we'll be creating our own sounds. We'll take some other pre-recorded sounds, mixing them with other sounds, and creating something out of many different things, similar to how the Star Trek ray gun was created. It's a giant slinky stretched to its max with a guitar string, and they flick it at the very bottom, and that's actually what creates that pew sound that you get from the Star Trek new Star Trek motion pictures. It's amazing what these Foley artists, and that's actually what that process is called. It's called Foley, where you create sounds out of multiple different sounds. Like, it's amazing to watch some of them act, and some of them, I'm sure some people have seen them on their Facebook reels and on Twitch and on TikTok, all that stuff, and it's really, really cool. Like watching people crunch up watermelons and bags of chips to make it sound like somebody's getting crunched or bones broken and that kind of stuff. So it's super cool. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Please come back, please watch, please like, follow, subscribe. We're gonna be making a game together, and I want you guys to be a part of it. I want to hear from you guys. I want to see what everybody has to say, what everybody wants to see out of a game, because this is a game for all of us. So again, thank you guys for stopping by. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.